Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So I have a multi-part series here. I came across a very interesting video a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to break this down. And basically, this is, as you see in the title, how Evony, but not just Evony, every mobile game tricks you into spending. So it's actually called Let's Go Whaling. Tricks for monetizing mobile game players with free-to-play. So basically, the biggest strategy here for mobile games, or their biggest goal, is to make you break through that wall and coin. Because lots of people download these games and want to play for free. And then they realize they can't compete and they like the game and you want to get them to spend. I remember a little story about me. I was probably about 6 to 8 months into playing Evony mobile, and I spent nothing. I remember people talking about, oh, you got to buy the $13 pack's really good. You got to buy it. I was like, I got a 99-cent pack. And they're like, what are you talking about? Where's this 99-cent pack? So I took a screenshot, showed them, and they're like, this don't appear on my game. And it turned out it was because I never coined once, and that was the opening pack that they would give me to try and incentivize me. Like, oh wow, for 99 cents I get all this stuff? Well, of course, no brainer. And then once you do it once, it's just easier every time, as we all know. So I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to pause it and break down what they just said. It's super interesting, and you could see it. It just disgusts me. And when I complain about the wheel and the lottery, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to see why these mobile games use these sort of things. So I'm going to mute myself and let's get to it.
Hello, I'm here to talk about monetization. It's Let's Go Whaling. It is about a summary of a huge bunch of behavioral psychology. So the tricks on how to monetize a game well. Some of you will probably be slightly shocked by all the tricks I have listed here, but I'll leave the morality of it out of the talk. We can discuss it if we have time later. So let's dive right in. First off, Wall Street trader and an oil sheikh got into a fight. Who won? You guys did. This is to remind you that a lot of the spend comes from the high-paying guys, the whales, and the very best way to get these guys to spend is to get two rich, competitive guys to fight each other and tell them, I'll give you a slight upside if you pay me. Next off, to remind you that the best way to make sure of both your retention and your monetization is to make sure you have enough of an in-game economy in there. The 1,000 up there is actually clearly lowballing it. Top grossing games have in-game economies worth tens of thousands. That's how you can keep people in there. They have lots of things to do, stuff to upgrade, to progress along, and that's how you can make them spend a lot as well, since you can, for instance, give a huge discount on something. You know, this stuff is worth 150 euros, but now I'll give it to you for 5.
So one of the first things that I noticed there is that, so basically he's talking about giving players shortcuts, but like shortcuts to speed up your growth, but also these make-believe percentages. So if you look at Evony right now on my server, we have a 52,000% bonus in every pack you buy. Like, based on what? It's actually a 0 bonus. That's just what you're selling it for. But you're telling me it's 52,000% bonus. More than what? The pack you used to sell 7 years ago? Like, you increase the stuff in it. So they lie like that, and then they give you double coupons. But really, it's not a double coupon if everybody's using it. My double coupon ain't giving me any advantage over anybody else in the game if everybody gets 10 of them per event. So the big advantage is actually to the person that is using it on the highest amount of money. if I use my double coupons on a $5 pack and someone's using it on a $100 pack, they are just pulling away. That's what a lot of the smaller players in Evony don't understand. When you use those double packs, you're actually just falling even further behind, because it would be better for you if Evony offered no double packs and you just got your regular $5 pack. Because if you take a big player, he's getting $200 for $100. You're getting $10 for $5. So really not worth it. Let's get back to the video.
If your whole in-game economy is worth less than 150, you cannot do that, of course. So now a few of these like frameworks on how to think of stuff. I've seen suggestions to model what you sell according to Bartle types. I assume you're all familiar with Bartle types. The achievers want to progress in the game, the socializers want to speak to other people, the killers just want to compete and kill each other, and the explorers are the guys who are after stories and experiences. So
how funny is that? Evony knows the type of gamers we have. So as he said, the killers, so those are people who just want to fight each other, people who cause, rogues on server or real big spenders in Battlefield. Then you have the people who just want to do the events. That's why Evony rolls out these events like barbarian cities, because there's people who actually want to do that. And then you have people who want to socialize. You have people in your alliance, and they fill up the chat. And without those people, alliances tend to die. You need all different types of these players in your alliance to have it as a successful alliance. I've always said this to every alliance I'm in. Like, there's people who don't contribute too much other than the social aspect. And that's okay. You do need some people like that, as long as you can kind of push them along a little bit in another direction to maybe share bosses, maybe do some other stuff, not get too carried away of just hanging out in the chat. But Evony knows this, and they sell packages to all different types of people like that. I guess maybe one of the ways they get the social people is try to sell them speakers so they could speak in world chat. I don't know. Let's see how they target everybody.
This is from Will Luton's suggestion to you sell convenience to the achievers, which really means faster progress, customization to socializers, hats and stuff, competitive advantage, that is pay to win for the killers, and content for explorers. Now,
there we go. So when you get new frames and new skins for your castles, those are what they're selling to the social people.
Now, the reason I highlighted convenience up there or progress is that most of your sales will be here. Customization, hats and stuff, they're nice, but you'll have a single-digit percentage of your income coming from that, if you do both that and progress. Competitive advantage is good, but you can go overboard with it and have an unbalanced game, which is, if it's too clearly pay to win, people will stop playing. And content, takes a lot of resources and time to do that. Selling content is very expensive. Hardly any team can keep up producing content at the pace needed. This one I like a bit better. Hook Habit Hobby. This is a model from Dmitry Dravanov of Flare Games. It's a model for how people progress in a game. The hook is what gets you into the game to try out a free-to-play game. Then you build it into a habit that you play multiple sessions every day. And then at the end, it's the hobby phase where people see it as one of their main hobbies, and they put lots of time and resources into it. Now, if we look at this from a monetization perspective, the hook is where you put up an icebreaker. You want to give a really, really good deal, something that's a no-brainer. You would be crazy to turn it down as a player. The reason to give a really good deal up front is by making people spend up front, they are also emotionally committing to your game, their retention will go up. And the first spend is, it breaks the ice, then they think of themselves as spenders in the game. It's okay for me to spend in the game. Lots of people are otherwise have this wall up, I will never pay for a mobile game. So you need to break the wall first.
There. And yeah, so as I was saying, the big thing for the games is to get you to do that first spend. So just think of when you got K25, there was a K25 package. Look at this, all these speeds, all these resources, buy it. A new player package. On new servers, Evony sells buy these generals for this amount of gems, and will give you back the gems. But you have to pay money to get those gems. So they get you through that wall for that. It's like one of these trials. Sign up for 3 days free and we'll refund if you don't like it on your credit cards on different websites. But it's funny how it goes through how he said the hook to get you in. That's Ebony's puzzle ads. And then it becomes a habit and then a hobby for people that turn it on. I think we've all gone through all those different stages. Lots of funny stuff here. I'm going to pause the video here. Tune back in for part 2. Man, it just gets infuriating when you start to hear all the different strategies that they have.